Imagine a social network built for you, not for profit. Imagen Network puts control back in your hands, combining AI-driven personalization with blockchain-backed ownership. Your data, your content, your rules. Create stunning content, build genuine connections, and monetize your work, all in a decentralized, transparent platform where privacy is prioritized. Ready to experience social networking reimagined? Join Imagen.network today and take control of your digital world. Imagen Network, empowering connections, redefining ownership.
Click the link at the top line of the description. Good evening, good morning, wherever you're listening in from. If you want to advertise on this channel, put your video in the same exact slot where you've seen the video just a few seconds before this. Make sure you guys email me right now, ogld@hiphopun.com. That's ogod@hiphopun.com. For today only, I'm taking 50% off for all services. So make sure you get at your boy right now. The email is ogld@hiphopun.com. And it's also all the way at the bottom of the description box under serious business inquiries only. Okay, let's talk about this today. So we got some new developments, about the sudden death of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. And it just goes to show you this man was not only a hero on the screen, but off the screen. So new information came out. We already know that he, was caught up in a rip current in Costa Rica while he was taking a trip, a vacation with his family. But we kind of didn't know the circumstance. Like, was he in the water? Was there any lifeguards? Was there any foul play? Because a lot of people were running with that whole narrative about something, this being foul play-ish. So the initial coroner report that we got from Costa Rica, right? First, let me give you, the scenario, what they're saying happened. They're saying that, he went out for a swim with his daughter, his 8-year-old daughter, right at the time. Now, at this time, it was reported that there was no lifeguard at the time. Maybe it was too early. I don't know. But there was no lifeguard out there at the time. Now, they're saying, according to official police reports out of Costa Rica, that surfers saw Warner and his daughter struggling in the water. Right now, a surfer dove in and brought the child back to safety on his board. Right, so he goes out with his daughter into the water. They both get swept out in the rip current, and they're struggling. So somebody comes in, as well as a volunteer, lifeguard. Which they said there was no lifeguards on the beach. Maybe it was just, I don't know. Maybe he was not employed by them, but he was a lifeguard somewhere. Just the story, that they're reporting. And he pulled Warner and his daughter back to safety. Now, when they brought him back, by the time they got to Warner, he was already lifeless, and they administered CPR for approximately 45 minutes. So approximately 45 minutes to try to, resuscitate and revive him. So again, the Costa Rican Red Cross, they made the revival efforts. They tried tirelessly to bring him back. Of course, those attempts were unsuccessful. Now, it was transported, his body was transported to a morgue, and they're officially listing his cause of death as asphyxiation by submersion, aka drowning. Right now, as of today, actually, his body was released to his family, and it was flown back to the United States, and he should be back or arriving, very, very soon. So those are the most up-to-date updates. It adds a lot more context, and it honestly makes the story a lot more grim, and it honestly makes the story a lot more sad. Because obviously, I'm sure he was doing everything he could to save his daughter. Everything that he could to save his daughter. And it could have been a double tragedy. Now, they have not got any statements. I mean, I'm sure they got statements by witnesses, but they're not made available yet to see, like, what exactly was going on. Was he, but I'm sure as a father and a child, you're going to do whatever possible to save your kid, even if that means you passing away. So shout out to, the very brave person or people that went to save him and his daughter and brought him back, to shore. Because the initial story that we got, because sometimes you got to wait for things to happen, and because it's like once something comes out, then it spreads, then we get the official story, which we got, and hopefully we'll take this as gospel from the police. I don't see why they would have a reason, to lie. But we kind of thought that, he was out by himself and, he drowned and washed up on shore and they found him with some rocks. It wasn't like that. They tried, they brought him, they tried to, bring him back. And it's just sad because, obviously, once you, submerge, it takes seconds, for your brain function. Once your brain shuts down, everything else, your heart, every organ begins to shut down. And, a lot of times you're not able to be resuscitated. So, a sad, course of events. And I want to say to the people as well, every time someone passes away, it does not have to be a conspiracy or they did this because of this or somebody did this because of this, right? And I get it. There's a lot of, suspicious things that have happened over the years. Trust me, I've been doing this reporting since 20, maybe 15. It's 10 years plus in the game. So I already know what it is. But at least the part I don't like about it is that you guys don't bring any facts. It's all speculation. It's all hearsay. It's not like, okay, look, I was down in Costa Rica and somebody said they seen somebody do this. And, firsthand knowledge. Now I got a witness that said this. It ain't that. It's just, I'm going to put a video up and show a couple clips from him talking about this and exposing this and say, oh, they killed him because of this. Don't do that. That's not fair to him. It's not fair to his 8-year-old daughter. It's not fair to his family, friends, relatives, and nothing like that. So please quit it. Please. But I know y'all won't because, it's an industry. And if there's industry, there's going to be people that are going to exploit, that industry. So I just wanted to give you guys, the most recent scary, heartbreaking update about our brother, Theo Huxtable, also known as, affectionately known as Malcolm-Jamal Warner, gone way too soon. Just a great man. And, he died a hero. He was a hero for Black culture, for what he did and what he meant on TV. And he's a hero for the way he went out. He's a hero. So, it's just tough. It's very, very tough, because you feel for his daughter and you feel for his family and his friends. We feel for him. You just, but here's my advice to people. Be careful. Be careful with the water and the ocean because they don't have no picks, meaning that at any point in time, you can be taken and swept out. Even if you're the Olympic swimmer, it's going to be rough. It's going to be hard. And try not to, if you can, swim without lifeguards. Try not, if you can, swim without lifeguards. Make sure lifeguards are present because that, 20, 30 seconds that it takes them to get out there and you're fighting and they can get on something and you get help to you, that could save your life. Seconds could save your life. So, man, condolences to the family. And again, I just wish the best, for his family.